Star Trek The Next Generation, Monday through Saturday nights at 7.
Another abortion doctor murdered outside his clinic. An anti-abortion activist is under arrest. The defense in the O.J. Simpson case advertises a mystery witness. And healthcare reform. What might happen if Congress simply does nothing?
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We begin tonight with cold-blooded murder. For the second time in less than 2 years, a doctor has been gunned down outside an abortion clinic in Pensacola, Florida. A security guard is also dead, his wife injured. A suspect was arrested almost immediately. He is the leader of an anti-abortion group which maintains that violence, including murder, against those who perform abortions is justifiable. In Pensacola, here's ABC's Al Dale.
The victims were sitting in a pickup truck near the entrance to the abortion clinic. A man with a 12-gauge shotgun approached and fired several rounds, killing Dr. John Britton and his armed bodyguard, 74-year-old James Barrett, who was driving. The bodyguard's wife was wounded. An eyewitness said it happened without warning.
And I heard a shot. I turned around, looked, seen a guy running up to the fence, shooting.
Within minutes, police arrived and arrested 40-year-old Paul Hill, a local anti-abortion activist known for advocating violence against abortion doctors.
Now is the time to defend the unborn in the same way you defend slaves about to be murdered.
Hill was charged with 2 counts of murder and 1 of attempted murder. Dr. Britton, who had just arrived from Jacksonville for his Friday appointments at the clinic, regularly wore a bulletproof vest. In an interview last year, Dr. Britton said he was just being prudent.
I'm not really any more afraid than I would be in any other situation where one has to use precautions.
It was a precaution he began after taking over the practice of Dr. David Gunn, who was shot and killed at another clinic in this city last year. But the vest didn't help. He was shot in the head. The suspect is well known to local police for his violent rhetoric at demonstrations here.
Abortionists are murderers. Murderers should be executed.
Hill will make his first appearance in court tomorrow morning. Al Dale, ABC News, Pensacola.
This is Bill Blakemore. Paul Hill has been openly promoting this kind of violence for months.
As the police use force to stop a murderer, sometimes you have to use force to stop people from killing innocent children.
A father of 3 and former Presbyterian minister thrown out of his church for these views, Hill claimed on Nightline 8 months ago to have many followers.
My organization, Defensive Action, presently has 28 ministers and priests and pro-life leaders who are openly justifying the use of force in order to defend innocent life.
Including shooting doctors?
Whatever's necessary.
There is a small but growing number of people around the country who publicly advocate such violence to protect fetuses.
If your life or mine were in imminent danger right this second, you wouldn't want someone holding a sign on the sidewalk?
When Dr. David Gunn was murdered in Pensacola last year, his killer claimed to have been inspired by local Operation Rescue leader and ex-Klansman John Burt. Burt claimed no direct responsibility, but predicted more such violence.
I think it's going to be like a war, a holy war, and people are going to get hurt on both sides.
When Dr. George Tiller was shot in both arms a year ago in Kansas, his assailant said she was an admirer of one John Brockhoff, who promotes what he calls justifiable force.
It's not murder, it's justifiable homicide.
The Catholic Church profoundly disagrees.
Anyone who tries to forestall evil as a private party by killing is wrong, ethically, legally, and morally.
National Right to Life leaders condemned today's killings outright.
Killing is not pro-life. No one who is truly pro-life could kill anyone in the name of protecting unborn children.
But pro-choice groups believe they now face a dangerous new pro-violence movement. Last year, there were more than 300 violent attacks against abortion clinics. In the past 2 years, such attacks have more than doubled. Bill Blakemore, ABC News.
Other news today. In Washington, President Clinton announces he is calling out the Marines to help fight the fires, which are destroying thousands of acres in the West. They are now burning in parts of 9 states and across much of Western Canada. The largest and perhaps most dangerous one is in the Tyee Creek fire in north-central Washington. Here's ABC's Bob Jamieson.
Since lightning storms sparked a dozen blazes Sunday night, flames have consumed more than 70,000 tinder-dry acres. That is an area bigger than the city of Seattle.
That fire is putting out so much energy, it's so powerful that we're not really fighting it. We're basically trying to stay out of its way.
But for the first time this week, there was no wind in central Washington during the night, and the wildfires did not spread. And with the favorable winds, for the first time, 3,000 weary firefighters were able to rest and regroup. While the lack of wind kept the fire from spreading, it also kept dense smoky clouds in place, preventing airdrops of water and chemicals. Officials believe airdrops are the quickest way to bring the wildfires under control. The biggest of the fires is in the foothills of the Cascade Mountains near the resort area of Lake Chelan, and officials have already evacuated residents from part of the area.
Just throw the dog in the back here.
In all, 600 people have been evacuated from the south shore of Lake Chelan. Chelan's mayor is prepared to evacuate the whole town if high winds return.
The weather's the key factor right now. There's just no other way to say it. The weather is in charge.
And the winds are expected to return tonight. Bob Jamison, ABC News, Chelan, Washington.
In a moment, senators who like to play detective at their Whitewater hearings on Capitol Hill. Also, the O.J. Simpson case tonight, the search for a mystery witness. And on the American agenda, health care reform. What happens if nothing happens?
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Aflac, insuring over 38 million people worldwide.
We met at the policeman's house in my hometown. We found out that we were expecting, and we kind of had an idea that there might be more than one. I was in the hospital for 3 weeks before the kids were born. And then Taylor and Tyler came along 8.5 weeks early. My Aflac representative was very, very friendly.
Aflac covers the unexpected costs of getting better, so you can get on with life.
Oh, you can't have it. Look at the monkey.
Glaxo, where the search for answers never stops. Where the hopes of the millions waiting for a cure live in each of us.
Blue represents electropositive. It's not going to be a straightforward solution.
And sometimes the search can't wait till tomorrow. Glaxo, on the brink of discovery.
On Capitol Hill today, the Senate opened hearings into the so-called Whitewater affair. They are supposed to be investigating whether the White House tried to meddle in the investigation of the Clintons' financial dealings in Arkansas, but they chose to begin with the suicide last year of the White House lawyer, Vincent Foster. It has been definitively ruled a suicide, but today it was still a chance for some senators to publicly play amateur detective. Here's ABC's John Martin.
Foster's body was found a year ago this month at this park across